Overall, it's been a good weekend for the A's, taking 2 out of 3 from a Royals team that has been struggling this season. The starting pitching has been outstanding. Some new but familiar faces have joined the rotation and have held their own when called on. Today, Sean Manaea takes to Hill to face the team that drafted him. Manaea will look to get that elusive victory at home and the series win. A's and Royals, final game of the series, next. It's a beautiful day for baseball at the Coliseum, and the A's are going to send the big left-hander Sean Manaea to the mound. Manaea trying to even up his record at 6-6. It's the A's and the Royals coming up on NBC Sports California, powered by Xfinity. Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Oakland A's baseball. Along with Dallas Braden, I'm Glenn Kuiper. Interesting pitching matchup today. Brad Keller, a youngster for the Royals, against Sean Manaea in Dallas. Sean Manaea just trying to get his season back on track, and Keller is a very young man that the Royals like a lot.
Yeah, and they're looking to take advantage, is Brad Keller, of an opening in that rotation. Skoglund goes down on the DL, and he now finds himself making his third career start, 21 appearances out of the bullpen earlier this year. And again, last time out against Anaheim, 75 pitches, so somewhere in the 90 pitch range for him. And Sean Manaea looking to put a frigid May in his rearview mirror, no doubt about it. He had an outstanding start to the season, trying to get himself and the green and gold back on track.
Matt Chapman's had a good series. He's got 6 hits in the series, and he's also had a good month of June so far, and that's good to see.
He's been unbelievable. Matt Chapman 10 for 28 in the month of June. Again, after a month of May, saw him hit sub 200. But you think about the skid that Lowry's experiencing, but the heating up of Olsen and Davis alike, you plug in a Matt Chapman, that lineup starts to get long very quick.
All right, so the A's looking for a good series from Matt Chapman, looking for a good start from Sean Manaea, and looking for a series win over these Kansas City Royals. We'll have lineups and first pitch on a beautiful Sunday afternoon for baseball. It's the A's and the Royals. Stick around. It's coming up on NBC Sports California.
Comes through every time. See your local Toyota dealer today. Toyota, let's go places. By Southwest Airlines. Low fares, no hidden fees. That's transparency. And by Jack in the Box. Try Jack's Spicy Chicken Club Combo with toasted sourdough. New from Jack in the Box.
Well, Sunday means Little League Day, and the youngsters take the field with the A's. Always kind of a fun time, and it's fun to watch as well. Check it out, Stephen Piscotty. That young man has a new hero. His name is Stephen Piscotty.
Yes, sir.
Game Time Weather is presented by the Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk. Get to the beach. The admission-free boardwalk is open daily. It's a gorgeous day. 67 degrees, not a cloud in the sky, lots of sunshine, and just very, very comfortable day to sit back and enjoy a ball game here at the Coliseum. It's the A's and the Royals, the final game of the series. Royals wearing the blue tops, gray pants. Let's check out their starting lineup today. It's brought to you by Southwest Airlines, and here it is. It starts with Whit Merrifield. He's at second. Moustakas at first. Perez will DH today. Then Dozier's your cleanup hitter, followed by Orlando, Gordon, Escobar, Butera, and Torres. There's the Royals starting lineup.
They're going to be taking on the lefty, Sean Manaea. No doubt we have an understanding of the tremendous start to the season that Sean Manaea got off to. Struggled a little bit during that month of May. Looking to take on the Kansas City Royals, his former ball club. And if you're looking for any extra added motivation, that just might be the ticket for Sean Manaea to lock it in, bear down, and get himself over that hump.
Defensively behind Sean Manaea, the A's will have Canna in left, Fowler in center, and Piscotty in right. Chapman, Simeon, Pinder, and Olsen. So Chad Pinder gets a start at second base, and Lucroy is your catcher. So Jed Lowry is getting a day off today.
That's
and
right.
A well-deserved day off. So Pinder will play second base. So the A's won on Thursday night. The A's won on Friday night. But yesterday it was the Danny Duffy story. Although Chris Bassett was a pretty good story as well. But Duffy and the Royals shut out the A's 2-0. So if the A's can win today, they'll get a series win against the Royals. So here's Whit Merrifield. Merrifield steps in, hitting .283. He's got 4 home runs. He's got 22 runs batted in. Sean Manaea's first pitch is right on the outside corner for a strike. So the crew chief is also the home plate umpire today, Bill Welke. Then it's Barrett, Barber, and Randazzo. The rest of the umpiring crew. So what are we looking for today from Sean Manaea? He was a little bit better in his last start.
And what you're looking for out of Sean Manaea is what you saw first pitch of the ball game. Great downhill angle. Was a little underneath that second fastball you saw there. But that's what you want to see out of Sean Manaea today. Been working underneath the baseball a little bit. Not able to get on top of the ball at release point quite as well as he was doing early on during the season. And at times when that happens, you start to see guys' secondary pitches and even the fastball flatten out. If he can get on top of that baseball, that changeup, even that slider.
1-2 pitch. Sliced foul. Count stays 1-2. How about this? Something to watch for. The Royals, who have been struggling offensively anyways, but against lefties, they're 1 for their last 38. That's right, 1 for their last 38. Merrifield's been fine, Soler and Escobar, but after that, not much there. Chapman scoops and throws, and they just get the speedy Whit Merrifield, who stumbles over the bag. Let's hope he's okay. And he is.
We talked about Sean Manaea wanting to work on top of and downhill through that baseball. Does a great job. Not as much of that dramatic collapse on the backside as we've seen the last few times out. And you see the changeup there. Great arm speed on the changeup.
So Expo brought to you by Cache Creek Casino Resort. Moustakas hits a little pop-up down the left field line. It's going to be foul. With the shift on, Chapman just could not get to it. Well, today, any 95-mile-per-hour fastball is our fast pitch, brought to you by Xfinity, the fastest Wi-Fi at home and on the go. The numbers on the season for Mike Moustakas. He's 2 for 12 in this series. And he bunts it, and that's going to work. So give Moustakas some credit. He beats the shift with the bunt, and all you really have to do there, and it's not as easy as it sounds, but I guess you kind of have to get it past the pitcher and keep it fair. If you do those two things, you're going to have a hit.
And during BP, he works on this, and most times you'll see guys give the courtesy 2 bunts and get their swing going. Well, not Moose. He takes time on this. He works on this. He works at this. And so this isn't foreign for him, and I question it a lot. After a guy gets a strike on him, you see the entire routine change, the approach change. Not for Moose.
Here's Perez, who swings over top. So Moustakas with a bunt hit. Perez at 233 with 10 home runs. He is 2 for 11 with a double in the series. Bounces that one foul.
A good double play candidate. Manaea can keep this ball on the ground. Roll himself up a double play. Moustakas not necessarily fleet of foot over there at first base. But again, for Sean Manaea, working ahead here quickly against Salvador Perez. Put the pressure on these guys early.
That one's hit very high in the air to center field. Fowler doesn't see it. Piscotty coming over, and Piscotty, and he missed it. And now Moustakas is going to hustle to second, and he's going to make it there. That was a strange play. Fowler never saw it. He put his hands up, but Piscotty did see it, and he got over there, and then he missed it.
Yeah, off the bat, you can tell Fowler throws his arms up instantly. I can't see it. He has no idea where it's at. Piscotty doing a great job of hustling, obviously tracking the ball through its entirety. And again, this is one of those instances where I think Piscotty might have had a question of whether or not Fowler is leaking on him, but he ends up wearing this one right off the nugget.
It's kind of a strange play, but it goes as an E9, so 2 on and 1 out, and here's Hunter Dozier. So it's too bad, because Piscotty deserves credit for hustling over there.
Sure.
And then he just missed it.
And you know, you think about the difference between physical mistakes and mental mistakes, and you hear guys talk about, I can handle and I can live with the physical mistakes. So the mental approach, or the mental IQ there to be over there, understanding I've got a job to do, I've got responsibility. If the center fielder can't track it, he nails it there. But then the physical mistake, obviously, he doesn't come up with a catch. But
so 1-1 the count to Hunter Dozier. A's pitching versus the Royals this season, a 1.87 ERA, and the A's are going to win the season series. They're 4-2 against Kansas City this year, and they've done a good job.
And that last number there, 103, with runners in scoring position.
There you go.
It's about bearing down, executing, making pitches. This is where this young pitching staff has really relied on Jonathan Lucroy heavily behind the dish. Steer them through these murky waters.
Fouled straight back. And the Royals right now are, well, they've struggled to score runs all year, but they've scored just 8 total runs in their last 5 games, and a lot of that has to do with the A's pitching, which has been very good in this series.
Paul Blackburn throwing the ball well. Chris Bassett last night was outstanding.
And a swing and a miss. A fastball at 93 miles an hour, and that's a strikeout for Sean Manaea.
Well, type 93. That's what you take away from this. Good velocity on the inner part of the plate.
Center fielder.
They ran that cutter slider in on the hands the pitch before. He was able to foul it off and battle. but beats him here with velocity to a spot. It's a great location just underneath the hands, right at the hands.
So PitchCast brought to you by SoFi, a modern finance company. 2 outs. Here's Paulo Orlando. He's the center fielder today, and that pitch just a touch high. Orlando is 1 for 10 in the series.
You can tell that number, the reason it's at 103 with runners in scoring position, you can see back-to-back first pitches to these hitters with runners in scoring position soft.
Swing and a miss.
And that's Sean Manaea and Jonathan Lucroy just working in unison together, understanding we don't want to give these guys anything to hit early on. Runners in scoring position, they're going to be aggressive. Work in that backwards approach.
Moustakas at second, Perez at first. Toward right field, Piscotty looking up. He's got it, and Manaea works out of the jam. A couple of runners left. A's come to bat when we come back. The first, the lineup is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. It has Dustin Fowler leading it off. Then it's Simeon, Davis, Olson, Chapman, Canna, Piscotty, Lucroy, and Pinder.
And that's right, they are taking on Brad Keller, the Kansas City Royals, making his 3rd career start today. Made his debut on opening day out of the bullpen for the Royals. Made 21 appearances in the relief role. Is back now in the starter's role. Made the appearance against Anaheim last time out. 75 pitches, Kipe. They're extending him, want him to start, obviously.
And he's always been a starter in the minor leagues. He was pitching so well out of the bullpen, I think they figured, you know what, maybe it's time to stretch him out a little bit, give him a chance, and he's getting a chance. They like him a lot. Brad Keller. Fouled straight back.
He's got a lively arm. I mean, anywhere 91, 92, up to 97 at times. Some natural cut. So you'll see that ball cut into the left-handed hitters, away from the righties a little bit.
And there's a high fastball, and Fowler chased it. So 1 away here in the bottom of the first. The defense for the Royals looks like this: Gordon, Orlando, and Dozier in the outfield. Torres, Escobar, Merrifield, and Moustakas from 3rd to 1st, with Drew Butera doing the catching. So 1 away for Marcus Simeon. First pitch is in there for a strike. Marcus at 259 with 5 home runs, 25 runs batted in.
Starting to see the ball a little better.
95 from Keller. Keller is a big guy, 6'5", 230 pounds, and he's only 22 years old.
He's going to fill up some space, no doubt about it.
I think it's interesting. There's the 2 starts so far, and as you can see, he's building up that pitch count. 51 pitches in the first start, 75 in the second start. So if all goes well for him today, he may be able to get to 85, 90.
That's roughly the number that we're looking at. Think about 15 to 20 pitch increments.
It's interesting, though, with Keller, he's originally an Arizona Diamondback. That's who drafted him. And then this year, he was selected by the Cincinnati Reds in the Rule 5 draft. Okay, so he's a Red, right?
Right.
And then same day, the Reds traded him to the Kansas City Royals. So somewhere through all that, I think the Royals wanted him.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just...
They identified a guy.
So technically, he is a Rule 5 guy, so he has to stay in the big leagues all year long.
True.
Marcus Semien with a 1 out.
Well, we mentioned Semien starting to see the ball a little better. He made a trip down to the 6th hole in the lineup the other night, finds himself towards the top again here where he's been the majority of the season. What you like to see out of this from Semien is him fighting the ball off, going the other way. At times he can get pull happy, maybe roll the ball over to the left side of the infield. When he's staying well and up the middle, oppo, that's when you really start to see Semien click.
Chris Davis steps in. 17 home runs and 46 runs batted in for Chris Davis. He's got a couple of home runs in this series. Both of those coming on Friday night.
I'll tell you, this Oakland A's offense sorely missed the presence of Chris Davis.
Cannot quite hold up there.
Let's take you back. Let's hop in the time machine. We're going back to Friday. KD serving up oppo tacos to everybody here at the Coliseum. Inside out, me down and in, out to right. And then the Rainmaker, about 400.5 feet away from home plate.
2 now to Chris Davis. Some home run distance notes for Chris Davis. His longest home run this year was at Texas not long ago, 434 feet.
Well, rarely are they cheap.
Good lead by Marcus Semien. Strike 3 called on the outside corner, 96 miles an hour from Keller. So we're seeing pretty good velocity from the young right-hander early on.
Well, 96, down and away.
First baseman.
We mentioned the natural cut to the glove side from Keller. This one stays true, just stuffs it in that corner, down and away on KD. KD might have been looking for something with a little bit of wrinkle in it.
So 2 outs. Here's Matt Olson hitting in the cleanup spot again. Matt Olson at 252 with 13 home runs and 32 runs batted in. He's got a home run in this series. He's 2 for 11. He also has struck out 6 times. But a hot hitter, stretching it out a little bit past this series. And there's a line drive right into the glove of Whit Merrifield. Matt Olson says, "Are you serious? Seriously? Come on."
World MLB All-Star Ballot is now open and exclusively online. Make sure your favorite A's are represented on this year's squad by voting at athletics.com/vote. Catch all the excitement of the 89th MLB All-Star Game presented by MasterCard, July 17th live on Fox.
All right, I'll be watching.
I'll be there.
You going?
I'm going.
Washington, D.C. will never be the same.
It'll be a warm one.
Yes, it will.
Speaking of All-Stars.
Spent a few All-Star games. Ricky Henderson. We should note, Dallas, that today is North Bay Day at Coliseum. Very, very nice gesture by the Oakland Athletics. Individuals affected by the Northern California fires this past fall were able to sign up to receive 2 complimentary tickets to today's game.
Yes.
Awesome.
Just another tremendous effort by the front office to continue to show the appreciation and support of the community. We know how important sport can be during times of trials and tribulation. Come on out to the yard. Enjoy a nice day on us.
There's also multiple fundraising opportunities going on to support the North Bay nonprofit organization. So a little bit more on that. Let's check in with Carr for the first time. Carr.
Good morning, Glenn. Good afternoon, Glenn. You just mentioned North Bay Day and how the A's have given out more than 3,000 tickets to people affected by the North Bay fires. Well, I'm here right now with Kate Anderson, her daughter Kaylee, and other good friends. They live in Santa Rosa, and they lost their home to the fires last fall. Kate, take me through that fateful night when you first heard the news that you had to evacuate.
Just real quick, my best friend texted me at 12:30 to tell me her house was on fire up on Reebly Road, and I jumped out of bed and ran through the house and went outside and saw the fireball. And my daughter woke up and she says, "What's going on? I smell smoke." And I'm like, "I don't know." And then I went in the backyard and saw the sheriff behind us with his lights going. And then I knew something was serious. So I went and woke my husband up, and he was like, "It's just a fire, you know." And I'm like, "No, it's not. Get up. There's something going on." So I grabbed the dog and a little bit of clothes, just a shirt and pants. And she grabbed all her belongings, and we had the sheriff come around our court, and then they came around and knocked on neighbors' doors, woke up. Some neighbors didn't even wake up until they just kept pounding and persisted, and then we all piled out in the cars and left cars. And
so you really only had a few minutes to prepare.
It was like 5-10 minutes maybe just to grab. We didn't know.
Yeah, of course. And you lost your home, but where do you stand in the rebuilding process?
We are rebuilding ourselves. We have our foundation poured and our fences up, and we're doing it ourselves. So
the good news, that's the good thing to look forward to.
Yeah.
Well, Kate, as you can tell, lifelong diehard A's fan. What does it mean to be out here today, Kate, on behalf of the A's to celebrate North Bay neighbors and take a nice moment after all the tragedy?
Yeah, it was nice. This is a nice break, and thank you very much so much for the free tickets today. And it's great seats, great view. Love the A's, been an A's fan since I was a little kid, lived in Pleasanton, Dublin, Livermore, and just they're my favorite team.
Well, we're so happy that you could be here, and you might be seeing some friends and neighbors sitting up here for North Bay Day. So
she teaches with up over there. Yeah.
Great. Well, enjoy the day, and good luck with the rebuilding process. So, guys, back up to you.
All right, thanks, Carr. And we certainly hope that group,
in the 8th position,
including that family, just relax and have a good day. That's all we're asking.
Because you hear what she said. We're doing it ourselves.
Yep.
We're pouring the foundation. We're putting up these fence posts brick by brick. They will rebuild, and it's good that the Oakland A's can help them just sort of alleviate some of that stress on a day that's much needed for everybody. Great day for baseball.
Petaluma firefighters being represented today.
That reminds me of our dear friend Johnny Gomes.
Johnny
from Petaluma, who's done a tremendous job.
No surprise. So this is some of the pregame festivities on North Bay Day. Mike Eldretti picking it.
Got a baby. Baby Al's.
0-2 pitch, and there's a nasty changeup, and that's a good inning for Sean Manaea. A couple of strikeouts. Bottom of the second coming up.
And today we would like to honor Andrea Vandiver, born in San Jose,
You know, now at NBCSports.com/fairplay, and they could be featured on TV.
So bottom of the second inning, no score between the A's and the Royals. Youngsters, it's Little League Day. So Chapman steps in. And the first pitch is a little bit outside. Chapman, Canna, and Piscotty. 9 home runs, 25 RBIs for Chapman. We talked about Matt in the open of our show. He's had a good series, 6 for 10. He also has 3 walks, which is sometimes a good sign.
You like to see that bat to ball and patience. Those are good signs of guys starting to see the baseball a little better, starting to get a feel for the zone.
Chapman takes low, and now it's 3-1.
I tell you, just a quick observation. The one thing you see out of Brad Keller is he gets it, he goes, he's ready to work. No messing around.
And he walks it. Pitch was high. So the A's have their leadoff man aboard.
Got that
Batting in the 6th position.
right over the top, sort of
20.
Iron Mike-ish look.
Canna.
That's where you get that natural cut coming down through the baseball.
So Mark Canna steps up. Canna getting the start in left field today, hitting at .247. He got 7 home runs. And that pitch is high. He's had a 1-out hit against Brad Keller in the first inning. That's a good spot right there.
Yeah, double bands going.
You got an end seat with cotton candy? Come on. Let's take a look at Keller's motion again. He's a big guy, Dallas.
Yeah, not a small individual, but again, directly over the top. Stays closed on the front side very well. Not a ton of wasted movement.
Timeout called. Canna requested. Bill Welke said okay. Well, he likes his fastball. Nothing wrong with that.
Nothing wrong with it at all. A steady diet of cheese biscuits, 74% on the fastball, 22% on the slider.
And again, you got to remember those numbers. Most of the work is out of the bullpen, where he may throw his fastball a little bit more than he would as a starter.
Him, it's about being aggressive with that fastball, the velocity that he's working with, the movement we talk about. I'm sure he's found dividends in getting ahead early and working quickly.
Right on the corner. Actually, a little bit more right down the middle. So the count 1-2. Had a little tailing movement back toward.
Well, that's what you're going to start to see, I think, as this game progresses, as Keller start to try to sink and cut that fastball in the same location.
That one is driven toward right, and it's hit pretty well. Going back is Dozier, and it's over his head. Dozier plays it off the wall. Chapman to third. Canana to second, and the A's are in business. So Canna using that opposite field power that we see from him so much, and he drives one over Dozier's head.
Well, and he gets his pitch up in the zone, Kipe, and that's the key here. You talk about that run on the fastball, the pitch before. Well, here it comes 94 with a little bit of run back over the heart of the plate. Canna gets on playing, delivers the blow out to right center. Double off the wall. Nice and balanced. Chapman making sure that ball is down.
So here's Piscotty. Corner infielders are actually just the first baseman. Moustakis comes in.
Yeah, Moose in on the grass. Has slid over slightly towards second base.
Scotty pulled off that one. It was a breaking ball and count 0-2. Lucroy will be next.
And this is where I know it's a heck of a lot easier said than done. You like to see Piscotty shorten up, look for something that he can hit the other way. Easier said than done when you're working with 96 with cut.
So that's a pretty good 0-2 pitch right there by Keller, and a good take.
Great take by Piscotty.
Piscotty at 278 this year with runners in scoring position. Trying to give the A's an early lead. Bounce slowly up the third base line. This is going to work. The throw to first. In time. Run comes in to score. That's Chapman. A's may want to take a glance at the replay to see if Piscotty was indeed out, but whatever happens, Chapman scores, and it's 1-0.
Torres comes on and makes a heck of a play. He had no chance at home to get Chapman even with the bare hand. Knew he had time with Piscotty, so he's able to go to the glove. Makes a clean transfer on the throw. And again to the backhand side kite. Not an easy play for Torres to make. And just by a half a step does he get Piscotty. So a great play over there at the hot corner by Torres.
Piscotty gets his 23rd RBI. So infield comes in now, and Lucroy will try to get Marcana home.
Yeah, and you take a look here. He has to go to the backhand, because if he tries to make an attempt to round this ball, that time that he takes to try to get around the ball is enough time for Piscotty to beat that throw out. So again, just a smart baseball play by Torres, knowing he didn't have time to go to the bare hand at home. He did have time to go to the glove, but really that was the only option.
It's quite a play if you look at it.
Yeah. They make these guys make things look so darn easy out there.
Lucroy bounces one into center field, a base hit, a thing of beauty. Well, with the infield in, nothing more than a big bouncer that goes all the way through. It's a base hit for Lucroy, and the A's lead 2-0.
That's the very definition, type of not trying to do too much. What do? You get a pitch where it's pitched, you send it right back where it came from, pitch up in the zone, gets on top of the heater. No need to try to hit it out of the park. I know I've got the infield in, just touch it with two. There you go, great job by Luke.
So Lucroy gets his 17th RBI. Just put it in play. So the inning started with a walk. What a surprise, huh? Double, RBI groundout, RBI single, and it's a 2-0 A's lead as Pinder steps up. Pinder takes a strike. Chad at 236 with 5 home runs. He's got 13 RBIs. He's 0 for 3 in the series. Gamers.
Ready to rock, baby.
Absolute gamers. 0-2 to Pinder.
There's a good look at that two-seam action, sinking action down and in underneath the bat path of Pinder.
Curveball, and it runs just off the plate to Pinder.
And there, just in that two-pitch sequence, you get a feel for what Keller and Butera trying to do back there. Run it in, cut it away, curve it away.
Goes inside that time, so we'll see what he's trying to do.
So there's a good chance now, Kipe, in my opinion, they're going to work something soft away. They might go back to that breaking ball, or you could beat him away with a hard cutter down and away. Looks like they're trying to go back in.
Pitch. He got it in there, so pretty good pitch by Brad Keller.
Well, that's a good pitch, but that pitch was covered by Pinder. That's a ball in there, and Pinder's able to get to it, and that's honestly the best thing he can do with that pitch. But if that's a strike, I think Pinder's able to beat him to that spot in there. The triple up inside.
Curveball off the glove of Merrifield, rolls into shallow center field. Whit Merrifield went for the backhand. If he fields it, it's probably a double play. It turns out it's a base hit.
Yeah, tough play for Whit over there at second base. Pinder sort of soft serves this.
Now batting center fielders.
Out there on the breaking ball. Tough play for Whit Merrifield. Caught in between hops here. Really no time to make that decision. Crawls up the backhand.
That's the thing, Dallas. If you're sitting at home, you watch that replay and you may say, well, is that a good effort? But ball's coming at you so fast. He does not really have time to come in on it or take a step back and get a better hop. He just doesn't have time.
Right, and I'll tell you, Kai, having worked with
that long hop, which is a tough hop,
and having worked with some pretty good infielders in my day, Alex Cora, Aaron Boone, these guys come to mind, and they talked a lot about fielding ground balls with your feet. And
Absolutely.
What that means is being in position to field this ground ball. And for Whit Merrifield, he just didn't have the time to either go get a short hop to step back and play a bigger hop. He just didn't have the opportunity to create space for himself.
Gordon coming in, and it's going to be caught by Escobar. Alex Gordon, I don't know, he was kind of jogging in. He made Escobar kind of the lone soldier there.
Well, I don't think Gordy really would have had a shot at this play, to be totally honest. And Escobar does a tremendous job of shielding himself. The reason his body is off to the side is to avoid the sun. He's got the glove up. You can see the shadow on his face. He's giving himself an opportunity to see around the sun, if that makes any sense. Because if he's directly under this baseball, very, very tough play to make. So he's drifting intentionally to keep himself out of the sun's way.
Makes sense. So 2 outs for Marcus Semien. Semien had a base hit in the first. A's have scored twice. So a lot of pitches in this inning for Keller. 27 is the total amount just in this inning alone. Fairly quick first inning. 42 total. Marcus Semien tried to hold up, couldn't do it.
Did a good job of checking himself on the breaking ball on the pitch before. Not so much here on the heater up.
Does have some giddy up though on that fastball.
Yeah, and like I said, Kai, he gets it and goes. You know, he's not messing around out there. I think you've got his stuff. I'd be excited to get up and go too.
Two and two. Lucroy at second, Pinder at first. Pop up, will reach the seats down to our right.
You know, another thing you have to be aware of is Brad Keller continuing to build a pitch count coming out of the bullpen. Very rarely do you see guys in the bullpen that are throwing multiple innings throw 25+ pitches in back-to-back innings. Usually the hook has come for them before they get to that mark the second time through.
Blocked by Drew Butera. So the count is full with 2 outs, and that'll help the Athletics get the runners to take off.
It's a good job by Drew sliding over there on the breaking ball with 2 strikes. You got to body up.
Lucroy, Pinder take off, and the pitch is inside. He walked it.
And that is a heck of an at-bat by Marcus Semien.
So Keller with his second walk. Well, Xfinity X1 customers say, show me the Oakland A's into your X1 voice remote and get live stats on your TV. Change the way you experience TV with Xfinity X1. So Keller in trouble here in the second inning. So he's thinking, I'm one pitch away from getting out of this with only 2 runs scored. The A's are thinking we could open this game up a little bit. So even though it's only the second inning, this is a big at-bat because the Royals just are not scoring a lot of runs.
It's a big at-bat because you're staring down the barrel of Chris Davis right now.
Right.
Big bopper. And I like this matchup here for KD.
Going after a high fastball.
Type I was going to say, for the reason of I expect a fastball early, something up, out over the heart of the plate. And we know KD, he loves.
Yes, he does.
He loves to hit those balls out of the yard the other way.
Another fastball at 96, and it's 0-2. That one was right at the top of the strike zone. The pitch before was a little bit high.
Right here, right now, if you're baseball fans, this is the matchup you're excited about right now in this early game here. You got bases loaded, power at the plate, power on the mound.
And he throws him another high fastball, and Chris Davis swings and misses. So on 3 pitches, Davis is gone, but the A's score twice and lead 2-0.
America's first hybrid minivan. Test drive one today.
Port of Oakland, always a busy place. Here at the Coliseum, the A's leading the Royals 2-0 top of the 3rd. Ramon Torres will lead things off, and he takes outside. Torres is the 9th place hitter, so Merrifield will be next, and then Moustakas. Strike on the outside corner. Ramon Torres hitting 182. He's got 4 hits in 22 at bats, 3 singles and a double. Hits that one hard toward Pinder, who slides to his right. So that's out number 1.
It's always a big deal if you're a starting pitcher. You want to go out there and stymie that offense, shut them down, get the boys back into bang after your boys scratch some across. You take a look at the shutdown inning numbers for Minaya there. 79%.
Here's the leadoff man, Merrifield. And Merrifield hits one high in the air toward left. Canna is struggling to see it. Now he comes hustling in, and it falls between he and Fowler. And Merrifield hustling to second. Well, it's official. We got a tough sun today, folks.
Tough sun, high sky, however you want to put it. It is becoming a factor and has been a factor here early. You can see Mark Canna takes a step back off the bat. He thought he had a shot.
Number 8, Mike.
Somewhere up there, folks, what you got to understand, if there's no clouds in the sky, it doesn't give you the opportunity to perceive depth. It makes it very tough. And that's what these guys are dealing with right now on top of that bright bulb.
So we saw Escobar too, the Royals shortstop, really fight a play where I don't think their left fielder saw it, Gordon. So we've had 3 balls now hit in the air that it just looked like guys didn't see it at all.
Yeah.
And that doesn't happen very often. Usually you wait and it comes out of the sun, but I don't know that Canna saw it till maybe the last minute.
No, but you know what? If you're Drew Butera, or excuse me,
1-0 to Moustakis. That's in the dirt. 2-0.
If you're Merrifield, it's double.
Absolutely. Tomorrow he will tell you that it was not a lost pop-up in the sun.
No, it's off the wall in the scorebook.
Be careful here. 2-0 to Moustakis with Perez waiting in the on-deck circle. Moustakis bounces one. Nice big hop toward Olsen.
All right, the Oakland A's are proud to debut affordable and fun ways for families and students to enjoy A's baseball. Among the great programs is an offer for 2 free kids tickets with every purchase of 1 adult ticket for Monday through Thursday home games now through August. In addition, the Summer Home Run Readers program and the Summer Slugger program are ways for kids to win tickets. So for more information to purchase tickets, visit athletics.com/family for details.
So here's Salvador Perez, runner at third, 2 outs. Perez takes inside. In fact, it goes to the backstop, and the Royals are going to get a run. So it's 2-1. So that hurts.
Yeah, it looks like they're not sure if that was a changeup that he just jerked or a slider that he wasn't able to finish. Not much Luke could do.
And that one is belted to left field, and this game is going to be tied. Long home run for Salvador Perez, his 11th of the year. So for the Royals, it's their 4th home run in this 4-game series.
You see where this is, up, out over the heart of the plate. Perez on top of the dish, turns this fastball on the outer third to a pitch middle that he can handle with authority. And we mentioned at the top of the broadcast, like to see Manaea work downhill with that heater. Looked like that flattened out just a bit.
So here's Dozier. So it's a 2-2 game.
And that right there, I love that. You see Lucroy tucked in on the hip pocket of Dozier, forcing Manaea to drive that fastball to the glove side, get that thing all the way in there.
Dozier struck out in the first inning. That home run by Perez, the 13th home run that Sean Manaea has allowed this year in what is 83 innings. And that one's driven toward right center, and that'll get down for a hit. Dozier, an aggressive turn, hits the brakes. So 3rd hit in the inning, a single, a double, and a home run.
Well, again, we're talking location. You see Lucroy, I just mentioned it, in on the hip of Dozier, trying to force Manaea to drive that fastball inside, off the plate at times, if necessary. And you can see Manaea just having a difficult time getting it all the way in there. And that's exactly what happened. Dozier takes advantage of another mislocation.
So here's Orlando. That one fouled near home plate. Ends up over by Alex Gordon in the on-deck circle. So a missed shutdown inning opportunity for Sean Manaea. Swing and a miss. There's the good changeup.
There it is.
82 miles an hour, and you see it down on the bottom of the outer part of the strike zone. He does have that kind of fading action on his changeup.
Right.
Moves away from a right-handed hitter a little bit.
And that had good downward action, a good combination of both. The vertical, horizontal movement.
Now some guys I know can make their changeup fade a little bit or maybe even cut it. Were you able to do that, and was it a conscious effort?
Absolutely. Yeah. I threw a few different changeups, and we talk about throwing the changeup off of the fastball and what sort of pitch you're throwing. So the two-seam changeup off of a two-seam fastball thrown away to a right-handed hitter, or a four-seam changeup off of a four-seam fastball thrown inside to a hitter. And it's all about presentation. That's what you're trying to do. You're trying to emulate a pitch that looks like something it's not.
1-2 to Paulo Orlando. Fouls it straight back. Got a fastball.
When we talk about swing and miss, take a look at the slider numbers. First six starts, excuse me.
So the struggles in the last 7 starts. He's not getting as many swings and misses on his slider or his changeup. So, I mean, all that sort of fits right in. He does get a strikeout there, but a couple of runs for the Royals. It's a 2-2 game.
Military by sharing a photo or video with hashtag Hats Off for Heroes. For each post, T-Mobile will donate $1 to support veterans.
So it's a 2-2 game. It's the bottom of the 3rd inning. So Brad Keller, after a long 2nd inning, he gets good news in the 3rd inning. It's a couple of runs.
He himself looking for a shutdown inning.
Yes, indeed. Olsen lays off the high fastball. 1-1 the count. Olsen lined out to Whit Merrifield, who was playing out in shallow right field, and ended the 1st inning.
Stung hard, and I think that's just the key for Ole as he continues to see the ball well. Is Obviously, you're going to be frustrated. You square balls up, hit them on the screws right at guys. But just over the last 2 weeks, the way he's sprayed the ball, the way he's hit the ball hard.
How about that?
You see it.
He did see it.
Mike Moustakas plants the seed.
So here's my question now. So he did it, called the ball, pulls the bat back. Does he forget about it now the rest of the game?
That's my question.
You know what I mean?
That's
Do it again.
Exactly, because nobody has moved.
Nobody has
The
moved.
left side of the field is still available, just like it was the pitch before.
And again, what I've said all along is Matt Olson's going to come up 2 more times in this game, and the defense is going to be exactly the same.
Solid chance. But I tell you, what he's not excited about is when you do a good job, you understand you have strike zone awareness, you put the peepers on him like that, you'd like to be rewarded.
Rolled foul. Chapman to follow, and then Canna here in the bottom of the 3rd. .56 pitches for Keller. Another broken bat. Remember Keller, just to keep an eye on this, we don't see him going much more than 85, 90 pitches. And he's already at 57, and we're only in the 3rd. So,
and one thing you got to think about too, kind of, is how you arrive at that number.
Sure.
You know, over the course of your.
How long does it take you to get to?
Exactly, because if it's a 4-inning, 5-inning piece, and you're at 90, there's a good chance the body's going to be pretty sore tomorrow.
Yep, and that's kind of where he's headed. Although we don't know what his total pitch count or innings will be. He's making him work. Again, this is Keller's his 3rd start after 21 relief appearances.
And if you're a guy trying to get stretched out as well, you don't want to continue to see yourself work through 20, 25 plus pitch innings.
So this is already a 9-pitch at bat to Matt Olson. And he walked him. Let's take a look at that last strikeout by Sean Manaea. And was this a changeup with movement?
Well, that's right. It's a changeup with cut. I mean, you look at the grip there out of the hand. And I thought slider initially, just the way that Lucroy ended up catching this, and obviously the flight path of the ball down and in towards that back foot of the righty. But it's a pitch that Manaea just hung on to just a little bit too long, but the result, beautiful all the same.
So that was exactly what we were talking about, is a changeup that you can fade it or cut it a little bit. Out at second, and that's going to be a double play. Chapman hit that ball hard, but right at Torres, and it's a 5-4-3 double play. But I guess the point is we don't know if Sean Manaea was trying to cut his changeup a little bit, but it worked.
Right, yeah, he's not trying to cut this pitch intentionally. You can see the pronation, the turnover, and trust me, I talk a lot with these guys about pitch grips and what they're trying to do. And for Manaea, he's pulling down with the index finger. So imagine pulling down with your index finger on the inside part of the baseball and sort of pushing and pulling at the same time with that middle finger.
Up in the air again, Gordon, he's got it. Side retired. So a big double play for the Royals, and we are headed to the 4th. afraid anywhere else. It's the home of the authentic world champion Warriors fan. NBC Sports Bay Area. It's also streaming live on the NBC Sports app. So that is the World Championship parade for the Golden State Warriors coming up on Tuesday. Coverage starts at 9:30 again on our sister station NBC Sports Bay Area. So that's a big day.
You going, Kipe?
Negative. I'm going to stream it live on the NBC Sports app or NBC Sports Bay Area. How about that? And Gordon is out on a very close play at first base. Just a slow roller. The Royals may want to glance at it.
Well, this is what the shift will do to you.
Now batting, number 2, Alcides.
I think he's out. And with that, let's check in with Kara, who is with a VIP.
Absolutely, Glenn. This man really does not need much of an introduction, but I'm here with Steve Vucinich, longtime clubhouse manager. In fact, 50th season this year. Congratulations.
Thank you. It's been an honor. I'm just happy to be here and survive all those years. It's been fun.
So earlier in the season, Steve got a really cool jersey with his name on the back throughout the ceremonial first pitch, but that just wasn't enough for his wife and daughter. In fact, this morning, they hosted a huge surprise here at the stadium. Were you surprised when you walked out to see all those friends and family?
Totally surprised. Walked down to look at the bullpen. There was a problem there, and I looked up, and there was just family, friends. My daughter and wife did a great job. They kept it a secret from me. Total surprise. We got over 100 people here. People who came from as far away as Atlanta, Colorado, Minnesota, Arizona, Los Angeles, and I'm overwhelmed. I really am.
It was a very cool moment we were watching. But I know you're also beloved by players throughout baseball, past, present. I know one of your favorite memories is watching Catfish's perfect game, but what do you make of this current season?
You know, we've got some real gamers on this team. A lot of talent. Both from pitching and hitting and defense especially, and something maybe we've been lacking the last few years. So I expect this club to be competitive all year.
And you know, we've got Dallas Braden listening. You got some fond memories of working with Dallas down here?
Oh, Dallas was always fun. He'd come in and you never knew what you got from Dallas, and it was always good.
And on that note, I'll throw it back up to you guys.
All right, it's great, man. Anytime you see Voos on our air, it's perfect.
You know you're having a good day.
Oh.
You know we're having a good day.
But he walked out there, and he was a complete surprise. So nice job by his wife, Val, and daughter, Kayla, setting up the surprise for a guy who deserves it. Steve Vucinich. Check what we got. That's his actual head size, too, folks.
Yes, not to scale, to scale.
California is brought to you by SoFi, a modern finance company.
So it's a 2-2 game, bottom of the fourth inning. The Royals and the A's. It'll be Piscotty, Lucroy, and Pinder. So Steve Vucinich said And with Dallas Braden, you never knew what you were going to get, but it was always fun. So, Dallas, I have to tell you that when you were a player and I was a broadcaster, I mean, we got to know each other. Scotty has a base hit, and you were always very kind to us. But the day you were pitching was like you were like a different dude, and I can remember like the days you weren't pitching. Dallas, what's up? How you doing? All right, fine. But then the days you were pitching, like you were kind of scary, actually. I didn't even want to talk to you. I can remember like walking toward you the day you were pitching and seeing your face, and then like cutting off into like the broom closet. Because you would wrap a pretty good game face on the day you were.
Yeah, you know, and kind of it's all love. It's been all love since day one. But yeah, you know, I felt like I wasn't good enough to be myself on my start day. I needed to lock in and be somebody else.
Somebody else. Okay.
Yeah, because the guy that I was in between, as Bruce kind of alluded to, that I don't know if that guy goes out and gets outs.
You had a good time. Bounced over the mound, but right at the bag is Merrifield, and he flips to first, and that is a 4-3 double play. So Lucroy, how about that? He hit that same ball in the second inning, and the infielder was winning. He got a base hit and an RBI, but this time it turns into a double play.
Yeah, not quite where you want to go when they're at double play depth there. Talk about a candy hop. Sometimes that's how it works out.
So 2 outs, and here is Pinder. First pitch to Chad, slider away. Pinder had a base hit in the second inning. Did this get catcher and umpire?
Yeah,
I think it did.
Yeah, some collateral damage there.
Double ouch. Patera set up inside. Keller misses low. Royals with 4 hits. The A's with 5 hits. 1 error in the game. That was made by the Athletics. Line drive, and Merrifield grabs that one. Side retired. No. Nothing for the A's, and a big double play for Keller. Around the Coliseum soon.
Dad, I want to go to the store. I want to get a hat. Dad, I want to get a jersey. Can we get an autograph? Dad, I want a ball.
Team store. Taking your kid to the team store after cotton candy, oof, not a good idea. Your credit card will never be the same.
Yep. Gonna need CPR after.
This is Ramon Torres leading things off. Torres broken bat. Chapman dives, rolls away. He gets up, he throws to first, and he throws high. Bounces off the side wall. Torres is going to hustle into second, and he's going to have, it's going to be a single and an E5. So Matt Chapman, he scrambled after it, and he reared back and let it rip. It just was a little bit high.
Well, and we mentioned the difference earlier today between mental and physical mistakes. And physically, he makes an outstanding effort to knock this ball down. The mental mistake came when he tries to make up for not corralling it cleanly and tries to make the throw. We know about his arm. Everybody on planet Earth knows about the arm. At times, you got to know to just put that in your back pocket.
So Matt Chapman, it's his 9th error. And here's Whit Merrifield. The thing with Chapman, and I think you see this a lot with guys who are terrific fielders, they will make some errors.
Oh yeah, sure.
But they're errors like that.
Yeah. Where
he knocked down a ball that most third basemen wouldn't even get to.
Exactly.
And then he's trying to make a play and he overthrows it. Matt Williams, same way. That's why sometimes, not always, sometimes error totals maybe not the best judge of how good somebody is at their position.
Right.
I think seeing somebody play every day is the best way to judge somebody defensively.
There's a solid chance that if Nolan Arenado finishes the season with 15 errors, those 15 errors probably don't look the same as somebody who's not quite the fielder that a guy like Arenado is. And I think that's what you're getting at with Chappie here, is like you said, for him to get to some of the balls we've seen him get to and knock down and make plays on, other guys don't even have a shot at.
That's right. It'll be to his advantage over the course of a year. 0-2 pitch, and Merrifield strikes out. So with Merrifield, that will not be an at-bat he wants to remember. All right, here's our Coors Light refreshing finish. This is the starting pitching in this series. Blackburn, Montas, and Bassett. And they've all been great.
Outstanding. Blackburn, 6 innings, 1 Ernie. Montas almost completed 8 innings of 2-run baseball. And yesterday, Chris Bassett sparkling even with the limits of a pitch count. 7 innings, 1 earned wrong. He did take the L with him, but
Fowler waiting, and Fowler has it, and that's out number 2. So you throw in Manaya's pretty good outing today. So Blackburn went 6 innings on Thursday, Montas 7 2/3 on Friday, and Bassett 7 innings yesterday. So all good. Unfortunately for Chris Bassett, he was sent back to the minor leagues after the game, which I'm not necessarily surprised by that because the A's were short of bench players. So Jake Smolinski was called up, so the A's are back to having 3 bench players, which is, if you have 8 relievers, you're going to have 3 bench players.
Right, and with Bassett obviously not available in any fashion off the mound for at least 3 days.
Sure. So here's Salvador Perez. This is what he did in the 3rd inning.
Well, we talked about it. Fastballs in real estate. We know how that goes. 102 miles an hour off the bat, 27-degree launch angle, almost 400 feet away, 388 feet on the long ball.
So 0-1 to Salvador Perez. Home runs on the road. Salvador Perez has 29 major league leaders since last year. And he plays at a big ballpark at home. Reaches for that one and pokes it foul. Salvador Perez, looking at the most home runs he has hit in a season. It's 27, and that was last year. Had 80 RBIs. Right field, Piscotty is there waiting, and he's got it. So this single in the air do not hurt the Athletics, and we're going to the bottom of the 5th of a 2-2 game. NBC.com and the NBC Sports app. It's presented by your NorCal Honda dealers. It's a 2-2 game, bottom of the 5th. A's have the top of their order with Fowler. Takes a little bit down and in. Fowler a strikeout and a pop out to short. It's hit toward short. Escobar comes in to get a good hop. Fowler's 0 for 3, 1 away. It's an interesting day with lots of sunshine today, Dallas, and we've seen outfielders just absolutely not seeing the ball at all.
Yeah, that high sky has definitely played a role today. Escobar has battled with it. We saw Fowler battle it earlier in the year, or earlier in the day, excuse me, and Mark Canha. Here the double from Whit Merrifield. A tough day with no clouds in the sky.
You know what it looks like? It looks like we're in Mesa, Arizona.
Yeah.
In spring training, where the sun is very difficult because there's just no clouds.
Very tough as far as depth perception is concerned. Staring into that big old ball of burning fire.
0-2 pitch. Marcus fights it off. Marcus a single and a walk, so he's been on base a couple of times. More action for Escobar, who charges. Throws. 2 outs. So a 35 pitch second inning. That's what kind of got Brad Keller in his pitch count up. He faced 8 hitters, but really since then he's been pretty good.
Right, and only making his 3rd career start, and this is the 3rd time through the lineup here. So not quite uncharted territory, but typically this is where guys start to get exposed.
Well, he gave up a hit in the 1st, but then had that very long inning. Got a double play in the 3rd, got a double play in the 4th, and looking for a 3-up, 3-down inning here in the 5th. And he's jumping ahead 0-2 to Davis, who has struck out twice, and last time he got him right above the letters with a fastball. Let's see if he goes there again.
Well, Kipe, he's got him in swing mode. The last 5 pitches Chris Davis has seen, he has swung at all 5 pitches from Brad Keller here. So expansion definitely on the brain for Keller and Pitera.
And he did it again. Another high fastball. So Davis strikes out for the 3rd time, and we got a 2-2 game through 5. So far through 5 innings. Yes, the question is, how much longer is Keller going to go? There's action out in the Royals bullpen, so we'll keep an eye on that. It's like Scott Barlow, a righty, is just now starting to throw. For Manaea, on the other hand, he's sitting at 64 pitches through 5 innings, which is pretty good pitch count. There's Barlow. This is Hunter Dozier, who takes just a little bit inside. Dozier a strikeout and a single. Orlando to follow, and then Gordon. Chapman's got it. Chapman throws in time, 1 away.
Well, let's get ready, folks, to enjoy an early 4th of July with the A's. That's right, for the July 3rd Patriotic Fireworks Show presented by Chevrolet. You can now win a free suite to the ball game. That's right, a free suite for you and 11 of your closest friends. Simply text BOOM to 60946. The contest will last through June 18th. Message and data rates do apply, so again, simply text BOOM to 60946. See complete rules at athletics.com for details.
The Friars coming to town, huh?
Yeah.
Little interleague matchup. It'll be a 2-game series. Night game on that 3rd, and then on the 4th of July, a day game against the San Diego Padres. Next road trip, which will be leaving a week from today, the A's will go to San Diego for a 2-game series. Not a bad stop. San Diego, one of the good stops in the Major League Baseball circuit. Chapman, check out this throw. Got him. We're just sort of getting used to it now.
Oh hum, average Sunday. Guess I'll come in, field it to the backhand, make a strong throw on the run. I mean, can a guy make it look any easier? On the run, he may have had time to plant, no need. The strong arm. I mean, this is a guy who has become very comfortable very quickly over at the hot corner.
2 outs for Gordon. Well, the fielding of the play was really not. I mean, look, that's a backhander, a little bit of that in between hop.
Yep.
That's a very difficult play just to field cleanly. Gordon slaps it foul.
That's right. The lefty forever appreciative.
Hey, outs are tough to get, right?
Oh, buddy.
2-pitch, strike 3 called. So Gordon disagrees with Bill Welke, but that pitch was right there, and that is strikeout number 6 for Manaea. A's got 2 in the second. The Royals answered with 2 in the third. So Brad Keller back out there, Dallas. He's at 79 pitches. First pitch not close, and it hit Matt Olson, and that's a good start. Olson has walked and now been hit by a pitch.
And again, you have to remember Brad Keller. Take a look and see. This does catch. Oh, yeah.
Hit him in the pants.
Yep, sure did.
Watch the pants move a little bit. Maybe it wasn't the pants.
Pants, top of the foot. Same region.
Maybe didn't hit him at all. Who knows? He's on first base, and he's the go-ahead man. First pitch to Chapman is hit high in the air to left field. Gordon's back. Gordon measuring it, and he's got it. A foot from the warning track. So Chapman just missed it.
But just to finish the point on Keller, a guy who was working out of the bullpen, probably not going to see too many innings over the course of his outings where he's thrown 20, 25 plus pitches. And as he tries to extend himself, he's had some laborious innings early on. But here a good opportunity to extend that rope for himself.
Cannon with a double and a run scored today. First pitch is low. The first place Seattle Mariners won today. They beat the Rays 5-4. So the Mariners continue their good play.
Lefty on the mound for them, huh? James Paxton.
The big fella.
The big maple.
And they came back in that game, scored some runs late. So the Mariners now 41-24. So Seattle wins. The Astros are playing right now. The Angels lost. Twins beat the Angels 7-5 in Minnesota. The Angels were going for the sweep, but they could not do it, and that also breaks their winning streak at 6. Close pitch. What's up next for the Astros? They're here Tuesday night. A's are going to face McCullers, Cole, and Verlander in that 3-game series. So if that's what you wanted to hear, or if that's not what you wanted to hear.
You know what that means, Kai? That's bad news for the Astros.
That's exactly right. Cannon with a walk. The A's will have Migden on Tuesday, Blackburn on Wednesday, and Montas on Thursday. So that's the matchups for the upcoming series against the always tough Houston Astros. So we'll look forward to that. So we got a pitching change. When it's time for change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your trusted oil change tune-up and smog experts.
brought to you by the Chrysler Pacifica Hybrid, America's first hybrid minivan. Test drive one today.
So the A's threatening, 2 on 1 out. New pitcher is Scott Barlow for the Royals. Barlow making just his 6th big league appearance. Never been in the big leagues before this year. He's 1-1. He's got a 3.95 ERA.
He's 89 and 93.
And what he does is, I mean, listen, it's only 5 games, but he's not a 1-inning guy for the Royals. He'll go 2-3. He's gone as much as 4 innings this year out of the bullpen. So don't know if that'll happen today, but it's possible.
Yeah, 3 out of his 5 innings up to this point have been 3 innings. 1 outing, I believe, 4 innings, and another one just 2/3. So he's obviously
the bat.
He's obviously a guy they've identified as somebody who can give them length at the back end of a ball game. Situation like this, tie ball game.
2-1 to Piscotty with Olsen at second, Canna at first, and 1 out. So the A's will get a couple cracks at breaking this 2-2 tie here in the bottom of the 6th. And reach for, hit toward right. Dozier is going to get there, and he makes the catch. 2 away here in the 6th, and it'll be up to Lucroy. So the Astros will be here. The Angels, what are they going to be doing? Well,
now batting the catcher.
At Seattle Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then of course the Angels will be here next weekend. So a week within the division for the Angels on the road.
It's really an important division, or an important week in the division as a whole.
Absolutely.
The Astros here in town.
So that's an Angels on a long road trip.
You've got to look at that schedule if you're the Oakland A's and think this is a great opportunity to make up some ground.
Sure.
Close the gap a little.
Down and away, and the count 2-0. So we'll get a meeting at the mound between Butera and Barlow.
Now he's talking to him. He's telling him, look, it's 2-0. We got a tie ball game. We've got 2 outs. Need you back in the strike zone here.
That is not a cast. It's just a towel.
Just staying warm.
Lucroy got an RBI single in the 2nd inning. It's a strike. He's been one of the A's best hitters with runners in scoring position. We showed you the numbers before his first at bat, and it worked. For 37 runners in scoring position. That's pretty good.
That's what you call bearing down. He's got himself in a nice position here. 3-1 fastball count. You've seen the slight cut from Barlow.
Pitch is right on the outside corner with 93. So 3-2.
There it is. Just on the outside part of the plate. You can see Luke looking out over the heart of the plate. See if he can't get himself something to shoot down the right field line.
Stayed out there. And Lucroy spoiled a pretty good pitch.
You can see that's kind of been the attack plan for Barlow. Away, away, away. And typically hitters don't want to get beat late inside, especially 3-2 here, 2 outs. Runners will be on the move with the pitch.
There they go, and it's inside. He walked him. So without a hit, the A's have the bases loaded. A hit batter and 2 walks.
That's right, a good AB by Mark Canna. Another good AB by Lucroy.
So it's up to Chad Pinder. Pinder a single and a line out to the second baseman. First pitch, a breaking ball down and away.
And for Chad Pinder, a guy who's been stinging the ball the other way as of late. You like this matchup, what you've seen out of Scott Barlow so far. The attack plan has been away to these right-handed hitters.
And that one foul back. There's the fastball again on the outer half.
Yep.
I think we got a good play here.
Oh, two hands, corralled it.
Riviera Maya, not a bad place to go for a vacation. Tell me he didn't just do it twice. Unbelievable.
And he does it. Back-to-back
pitches. The same guy made the play. One-handed.
Oh, stop it.
Where is he? He's just down to our right, and he's my new hero. Driven to center. Orlando going back. Orlando makes the catch. Side retired. So the A's leave him loaded, but we still had something to celebrate. This gentleman makes back-to-back catches on foul balls. Unbelievable.
Go where the pros go. Kelly Moore, the Painter's Paint Store.
So it's a 2-2 game, top of the 7th inning. Good looking jerseys. I'm still trying to get over what we just saw.
That's amazing.
And it wasn't Pinder flying out to center field with the bases loaded.
No.
Back-to-back pitches, foul balls, caught by the same fan.
Same guy.
Has that ever happened in Major League Baseball history?
I've never seen it. We'll get Elias on that.
Escobar is retired on one pitch, and let's check in with Carl.
Hey guys, as you know, it's Firefighter Appreciation Day, and right now I'm in the thick of the Berkeley Firefighter Hangout. I've got a bunch of guys here, starting with Chief Brannigan on my right. You guys have had a good turnout today. How many guys are here from Berkeley?
It's great. We've got over 80 guys here and their families, and the fire service is a big extended family. So when we can get our actual families, plus all the East Bay firefighters, and even then some, it's always a great turnout.
Absolutely. I hear there's more than 900 firefighters in attendance today from all over the Bay Area, different cities, different counties. It's a really good turnout. Over here on my left is Apparatus Operations Stefanik. Nice to see you, also from Berkeley. And tell me about the tailgate before the game. Firefighters are known for their cooking. Was there some good eats out there?
Today we did kept it simple, hot dogs, hamburgers, and just a potluck style tailgate, and had a good time.
Very nice. As you can see, both of these guys are A's fans. So what's it like to combine your passion and your profession? A good time?
It's great. We hang out in the fire stations, but to get away with families, it's incredible.
Very nice. And as you can see, we've got the very cool firefighter appreciation t-shirt that came with the special game day ticket. So a big thank you to all of our firefighters for all of their hard work year round. It's great that we can, the A's can treat you to a game. So enjoy.
Thank you. And we really appreciate that the A's have brought us all out here tonight, showed us a good time, and go A's. Indeed.
Well, thanks for your hard work in Berkeley, guys. Back up to you in the booth.
Thanks, Kara. We like those t-shirts.
Yeah, big fan.
Those are nice.
Big fan. Size large.
Not that we're asking. XL.
Yeah, those are good looking tees.
And Chaminade with a chance for a nice inning. He jumps ahead of Torres 0-2. A couple of fly ball outs. He's at 77 pitches. Big left-hander. Kicks and deals, and the ball's bounce foul down the third baseline. So that group was having a good time out in the parking lot pre-game.
Hey! I like Kaipa, got to tell you, if I was out there, I'd be right alongside those little guys and girls.
Absolutely. You're a big kid. Would not be crawling up that ladder, though. 1-2 to Ramon Torres. Slap foul.
One thing I have kind of noticed that I'd like to see get a little better as Chaminade continues to work in these latter innings, sort of standing up at release. Like to see him continue to finish just like that.
Chaminade has retired 8 in a row. Trying to make it 9 in a row and get Torres. High fastball hit foul. Did our guy catch another one? It was headed in his section.
Oh. You see there that fastball up and out. They're trying to ram that thing in.
Pop up, reach the seats.
Same thing there on the slider. Just working underneath the baseball. That's why you see that pitch up in the zone there. They're trying to attack under the hands, maybe even back foot. Typically when you're seeing the back foot target, you'll see Luke tap that ground. That's not what you saw. Go back to the heater in.
Fouled straight back again. Pop-up, not going to be an easy play. Pinder, Piscotti, and Pinder catches it in a nice play. So it's a 3-up, 3-down inning, and we have reached the 7th inning stretch. Another tight ball game. 2-2, A's and the Royals. show. Go to NBCSportsBayArea.com/Battle of the Bay Art. Enter for a chance to get your Giants or A's artwork featured at the Bay Bridge Series. All mediums accepted. We cannot wait to see your work. A's and Giants will play 6 times consecutively in July, surrounding the All-Star break. Fowler, Simeon, and Davis as Scott Barlow back out there. And that one's bounced off of Barlow, and it's going to roll into center field for a hit. So the A's have the go-ahead run on with nobody out, and it's a speedy runner in Fowler. That may have got a little bit of Barlow.
Just off the leg. This one might have made its way through the wickets. See that just off the inside part of his left leg. Merrifield getting over there, trying to keep it in front of him.
So here's Marcus Simeon. Quick throw, and it goes past Moustakas. Fowler takes a look at Matt Williams. He's waving him to third. He's going to make it easily. I'm going to tell you, terrific base running by Fowler, and the only reason I say that is because when he took off for second, we have seen guys actually turn around and look over their right shoulder. He looked right at Matt Williams.
And that's exactly what you are supposed to do. Pick up your third base coach. Very familiar territory here for the speedsters for the Oakland A's. One thing you learn very quickly, if there's a pick over at first, that is quickly turned into a triple. You see Fowler there picking up Matty Williams. He's got that windmill cranking. Come on over to third, big boy.
Exactly what you're supposed to do, but you'd be surprised at how many guys want to see where the ball is on their own.
That's right. Have some faith. Have some faith. That's why he's over there. Matt Williams, one of the best in the game. He's really done a great job of familiarizing himself with this ballpark here. Not that it was new to him, but
so Simeon with a chance, and he pops it up. See Merrifield fighting that sun, and he's got it. So that's a big out. Marcus went after the first pitch from Barlow. And now Chris Davis will step up. Davis has had a tough day. He has struck out 3 times. Twice swinging, once looking, but a chance here to give the A's the lead.
Well, we talked about guys trying to shield themselves, angle their body in a certain way.
First pitch to Davis is high.
Kyle, I know I said it last time with the approach they took against KD. Fastballs away, but that's something we've seen from Barlow. Attacking away.
Another fastball, that one up a little bit, but foul back. Davis is 4th in the American League in RBIs with 46. He trails J.D. Martinez, Manny Machado, and Mitch Haniger. Aaron Judge right behind him at 45. Inside.
As strong as Chris Davis is, if he can get a pitch out over the plate that he can handle and send it to the outfield.
That was the one to hit.
There's a good chance that it'll be deep enough with Fowler's speed at third to bring that go-ahead run home.
A lefty and a righty out in the Royals bullpen. We've seen Chris Davis hit that pitch out of the ballpark. Way high with a fastball. So this is interesting. You obviously the Royals bullpen, well, they watched the starter Keller go upstairs and strike out Chris Davis with a little bit more velocity though than Barlow has.
Right. So if you're Barlow and you're trying to expand up, it's higher than high, but not here in a 3-2.
And he went downstairs with a slider. You know, you can do that. You can make that pitch if you get ahead in the count. It makes all the difference.
Well, and also how you arrived at getting ahead in the count, and that is with fastballs up in the strike zone. So you've done enough work up in the zone to make him aware, the hitter.
So we got a pitching change. We're going to go lefty on lefty when we come back. When it's time for change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service. It's your trusted oil change, tune-up, and smog expert. Of the 7th inning, the A's have Fowler at third. They had Fowler at third, nobody out. Now he's still there with 2 outs. The Royals go with the lefty on lefty matchup. Tim Hill against Matt Olson. You see Hill, lefties are hitting .227 against him. Now interesting splits for Olson. He's hitting .284 against lefties this year. Against righties, .238. So we'll see who wins the lefty on lefty battle. First pitch is a strike on the inside corner.
And you can see how Hill could be difficult on lefties. Side slinging action.
The A's saw Hill last weekend in Kansas City, and they saw him on Thursday night in game 1 of the series. And it's a quick 0-2, 92 miles an hour. Hill, obviously a specialist. You can see how he could be tough on lefties. I remind you of Javier Lopez, very similar delivery.
It's a weird hybrid between Javi Lopez and Chris Sale as far as moving parts coming at you, velocity. Javi nowhere near the velocity as Hill.
And how about that? 93 miles an hour, and he got him swinging. So the A's do not score.
your California Ford dealers, and it is the fan who's pulling double duty. That's right, the man from the Riviera Maya. Corralling them both. One hand, two hands.
So Whit Merrifield opens up the 8th inning by ripping one down the left field line for a leadoff double. So that's the go-ahead run, and the Royals got something going here in the 8th. And that gentleman, he deserves to be interviewed by Cara.
Hey guys, this is Bill from Pittsburgh. He's got the hottest hands in the park right now. He's sitting just to the right of home plate. Take us through that 7th inning and those balls that came up to your section.
Well, I was just sitting there, and I looked down, and the ball was coming straight at me. So I caught the first one, and by the time I could get the other ball and put it in my pocket, the other one was coming at me, and I had to grab, and I reached up and grabbed the other one too.
Amazing. I'm told that they were about 22 seconds apart, so those are some fast hands. Now, Bill is a lifelong A's fan. He comes to about, what, 10 games a season. He's been coming since he's a kid, and you've never caught a ball before.
Never caught one. Been very close to catching balls from Canseco and everybody's, all the great players, and I've never even got close. I mean, just I thought I'd never get one, and then I even told him before the game, I was, I'm gonna catch one right here, and I caught 2 in a row.
Lucky day. Well, thanks, Bill. I feel very safe sitting next to you right now. So great job, and enjoy the rest of the game.
Thank you very much.
Hey,
Guys, back to you.
Cara, tell Bill we were trying to get his attention so we could give him a thumbs up, but we cannot quite see him. He's just behind us a little bit. There he is. You know what? He's going to be on some highlight shows.
Oh, yeah.
I believe.
Yeah, I wanted to see if Carr could ask him if he's got a favorite fishing spot.
22 seconds apart. Nice play by Jonathan Lucroy, especially when you got the go-ahead run at second and nobody out.
When you see the way he gets around that ball and the angle he had his glove at, again, the effort by the catchers is to steer this ball, funnel this ball back to home plate. Great job by Luke.
Stockis pops it up, foul. Got another nice play. We got a hat catch. We got a hat catch.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, just a little transfer, too? Man.
Fans are putting on a show today.
Yeah, I'm liking our fans' fielding percentage right now.
1-2 to Moustakas. Bounces it to the right side. Olsen looked at third, and he'll get the out at first. Merrifield runs well, and he obviously took off on the crack of the bat. So now the game is on the line here in the top of the 8th inning. And how about this move? Bob Melvin says, you know what? I got a ball game to win, and I'm bringing in Blake Treinen.
Before he makes that move, we'll just take a look again. Ole checking the runner. What a great job by Sean Manaea.
Yes, indeed. 7 1/3 innings this afternoon, and he was very sharp. And that is huge news for the Athletics. But when we come back, it'll be Treinen versus Perez with the go-ahead run at third.
Your attention.
Merrifield at third. Treinen 36 strikeouts in 29 innings. First pitch is rolled foul, and that got Lucroy.
And there's a reason Blake Treinen was your AL reliever of the month for the month of May. Right off the shin guard there of Lucroy. And at 98 miles an hour with that bowling ball action off the bat of Salvador Perez. Good chance they didn't feel too good.
Well, Salvador Perez has only walked 9 times this year. He is up there to swing it.
Oh, yeah.
And he will extend the strike zone a little bit. And he swings and misses, and now it's 0-2.
And you can just look, you can see the look on Salvador Perez's face and the reaction. He's got no shot. This ball just completely disappears at 97 miles an hour. You're not used to the vertical movement with that sort of velocity.
Hunter Dozier is the on-deck hitter. Infielding. And that's a diving play. Semien coming home. The throw. Got him. Sensational play by Marcus Semien to cut down Merrifield at the plate.
What a heck of a play by Marcus Semien. The backhand dive to his right. The one hop to home plate. It's a great job by Lucroy on the back end to hang in there. But Semien from his knees, the side sling to home plate, one hop. Luke does a beautiful job of hanging in, gives him the lane, and makes a play. What a job by both guys on both ends.
And the Royals will not take a look at it. So now 2 outs. And Perez, a slow runner at first base.
I mean, for Marcus Semien, the ability to even get to this baseball, this ball is probably behind him by the time he's able to get to it. But with a speedy Merrifield at third base running on contact, he knows he's got to get up and make the exchange and deliver a strike. Uses the turf. One hop.
A little bit outside. So maybe a game saver.
Oh, no doubt.
One and one the count to Dozier. Chapman gets a nice big hop. Throws to first, and the Royals do not score. Treinen gets out of it with a lot of help from Marcus Semien. Bottom of the 8th coming up.
See your local Toyota dealer today. Toyota. Let's go places. By Southwest Airlines. Low fares, no hidden fees. That's transparency. By Xfinity. X1 will change the way you experience TV. And by SoFi, a modern finance company.
All right, here's our game summary brought to you by your local Toyota dealers. 2-6-1 for Kansas City, 2-6-2 for the A's. Sean Manaea was great. 2 earned runs, no walks, 6 strikeouts in 7 1/3 innings. So that is great news. Manaea, who has struggled some since having the terrific month of April, and the A's need him to get back. And he was back today.
It was good to see him settle in, Kipe.
Yep. Jason Adam is the new pitcher for Kansas City. Jason Adam pitched on Friday night, facing Matt Chapman. That one is belted to left field, and that baby's gone. Matt Chapman gives the A's the lead, 3-2 here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Line drive, home run, just over the out-of-town scoreboard. And here's Canna. Heads up. Are we good?
We're good to go.
Are we good?
We're clear.
Okay. My protector up here.
Got your back, Kipe.
You do. We need our guy downstairs.
Yeah.
Riviera Maya. That's what we're going to call him from now on. He came and said hi. To Canna. Big curve is looped down the left field line. Into foul territory is Ramon Torres, who has it.
Well, Captain America gets a 93-mile-an-hour cheese biscuit right down Broadway, and he's licking his lips because he's hungry. He says, go ahead and bring that to me. Get the foot down on time. The sound off the bat as well, Kipe. Hard hit. If it doesn't make it over the wall, good chance it goes through it.
So that was home run number 10 for Matt Chapman. So the A's now 3 outs away from a series win. They already have their closer in the game, Trinan. So this has worked out about as well as you could for Bob Melvin. Trinan comes in, gets some big outs in the 8th inning. And then the A's grab the lead in the bottom of the 8th. Piscotty went around, says Bill Welke, the home plate umpire.
And again, Trinan's ability to work multiple innings is part of the reason why he's the AL reliever of the month last month. But also part of the reason the success.
And you know what, too, Dallas, with that is multiple innings is a great thing. But if you're bringing your closer in the 8th inning, it's not a blowout.
Right.
There's probably a tying run sitting out there somewhere.
This
right?
is high leverage.
Exactly.
This is high leverage.
Otherwise, you're not bringing him in the 8th inning. He's going over who he will face. Check swing roller to the right side. Moustakas has it. So Piscotty 1 for 4 with an RBI today. Orlando, Gordon, Escobar. Those are the 3 scheduled hitters in the top of the 9th inning. If anybody were to get on, Drew Butera. Jonathan Lucroy's had a good ball game. Lucroy, an RBI single in the second, double play in the fourth, and then a walk in the sixth, though he's been part of the scoring back in the second inning.
He's done a great job behind the plate as well. Early on, Minaya struggling to get that fastball to the inside part of the plate, and over the course of the game, we saw Luke tuck himself back in that hip pocket of those right-handers, sort of forcing Minaya to get back online, drive those pitches downhill into the zone. That's the kind of stuff that doesn't show up on the back of the baseball card.
Pop up right in front of the Royals dugout. So it's 0-2. The Houston Astros just won their game, kind of a wild one down in Arlington, 8-7 over the Rangers. So they sweep the Rangers, and Houston will bring a 5-game winning streak into the Coliseum Tuesday night.
Trio of good arms with them as well.
Dallas Keuchel started that game for Houston, did not pitch well. Keuchel's ERA is 4.45, so he has not really got it going this year, but he's had plenty of help in the rotation. So 8-7 Astros over the Rangers. 1-2 fastball, swing and a miss, but the A's take the lead thanks to Matt Chapman. Home run number 10 puts the A's ahead here in the bottom of the 8th inning. So the A's 3 outs away from a win. They lead the Royals 3-2. He's trying to take 3 out of 4 from the Royals.
For Kansas City,
so Matt Chapman with the home run in the bottom of the 8th inning. Ryan Goins, a left-handed hitter, is going to hit for Orlando here to lead off the top of the 9th. Trying and threw just 5 pitches in that 8th inning. And a swing and a miss. He got 2 big outs. Let's face it, play of the game. Obviously, Chapman, play of the game 2 was Simeon's diving play. Cut down a runner at home in the 8th inning. Going 1 to Goins. 0-2 to Goins.
In fact, this might be me just being a little biased here as a pitcher, but I think that play by Simeon is the play of the game simply because it takes the team into the dugout still tied with the mindset that says we've got the opportunity to win this ball game here, potentially with 1 swing of the bat, and that's when Chapman comes up and does his job.
0-2 pitch, foul back. Yeah, no, you're probably right. Because listen, if they take the lead, you may have a different pitcher come in there in the bottom of the 8th. Chapman may not be facing the guy he'd hit the home run off.
There's a lot of things that change the complexion of that ball game if this play isn't made. So I think about the momentum that these guys went into the dugout with, thinking, all right, we can go get their guy. We've got our horse out there for the 9th inning to put the nail in it. Let's go.
0-2 pitch. Just got a piece of it, or did he? Yes, he did. Alex Gordon will be next, and then Escobar.
Gordon's got a piece of it. Got a piece of Bill Welke as well.
Pitch is belted to center. Fowler's there, and he's got it. 1 out.
What is time now for the Chrysler drive of the game, and I think we all know what that's going to be. Right off the bat, a Chapman America exits stage left. All aboard! Next stop, Pound Town.
So 1 away, and that'll bring up Alex Gordon. So a couple of tough veteran hitters we're trying to finish this off against with Gordon and Escobar. Gordon is 0 for 3, a couple of groundouts and a strikeout, and he lines one fair. It's into the right field corner. Piscotty is able to pick it up clean. That was important. So Gordon has a double. Well, if you kick it around in that corner at all, Gordon's going to stand at third, but Piscotty picked it up clean.
That's a great point, Kipe. Piscotty does a good job of laying off this ball. Once it gets down into that corner, you know it can careen one way or the other. You want to make sure you're in a position to slow it down and gather it. See here, the folks down in the KC bullpen vacate. Tucked it neatly just inside the line.
Alcides Escobar.
So here's Escobar. Oh, the Royals a chance to tie it.
Escobar with a little bit of history here against Trinan, 2 for 2. In their brief meetings with a double.
First pitch to Escobar. He jumps on it, fouls it down the right field line.
Well, that's something we saw at Escobar, if you remember, back towards the World Series. He was very aggressive early on, first pitches.
But you know, I'm sorry, Dal. That may be the best pitch he gets to hit.
Oh, no doubt.
That ball's right down the middle.
Right, it's right down the middle, and that's a 99-mile-an-hour four-seamer as well. He doesn't understand. Here comes 97 with some super sank.
If you get a pitch from Trinan that's at all straight, that would be a good idea to take a whack at it.
Yeah.
Because the next 4 are not going to be straight. 0-1 pitch is bounced foul. So there you go. There he sinks it down and in.
That's right. He's gone four-seamer up top, sinker down and in to the righty. Now you might see that 88 to 90-mile-an-hour breaking ball down and away.
Drew Butera is the on-deck hitter. Blocked nicely by Lucroy.
And there it is, that 90-mile-an-hour spinner away. And again, this doesn't happen. This pitch doesn't get called if you don't have the confidence in your catcher to be able to block this and body up and keep it in front. Your objective as the pitcher is to try to bury this, expand the strike zone. But that doesn't happen without that wall back there in Luke.
One and two. One rolled slowly right side. Pinder's got it. He throws, and they just get Escobar for the second out.
Just a beautiful job by Lucroy. Understanding he's got no shot to get to that fastball up in the zone. If we can crowd him, let's do it. Pinder does a great job of gathering himself as he approaches this ball, understanding it's going to have to be a quick and awkward release on the throw. Not as easy as he made that look.
So here is Drew Butera. First pitch is a strike on the inside corner. Butera disagrees with Bill Welke. Butera is 0 for 3. A strikeout, a ground out, and a fly out. Those first 3 at bats came against Sean Manaea. It's low. Long look in. Gordon tying run at third. Swing and a miss. 98 with sink.
Good luck.
How do you throw that pitch?
Hashtag blessed.
Up. Lucroy, Olsen, Lucroy squeezes it, and that's the ball game. So Blake Trinan comes in and gets 5 big outs, and you know what? He's going to get the win. So the Athletics get a run in the bottom of the 8th, and they win this series 3-1 over the Kansas City Royals. But how about Sean Manaea?
Outstanding job by Sean Manaea to settle in early. Didn't look like he was quite comfortable at the beginning of the ball game. Him and Lucroy dial it in, get back on the same page, and he battles his way through a heck of an outing. Gives the ball club a chance to win, and that's all you can ask for.
All right, 2 hours and 25 minutes. Your attendance was 15,548. Final score this afternoon on a beautiful Sunday. It's the A's 3 and the Royals 2. Time now for A's Post Game Live. Here is Brody Brazil.